Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show, joined by the one, the only Jedi Modai. How you doing today, Mr. Modai?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. Also pretty good. I mean, I got shellacked yesterday. Let's just call it what it is. It was nasty. Yeah, it was really, really nasty. I talked about the record here. We lost about 5 units last night. So we're at 41 now on the season. But we're gonna be rolling along here. We got some winners that are already scrolling on the bottom line. So make sure you guys check that out. And as everybody's rolling in, I ask just give that video a like if you would, and definitely subscribe. We're going to be coming out with an NBA video tonight. We should be able to get those looks a little bit earlier than we were yesterday with all these back-to-backs that we have today. Like 4 of the 7 games have teams on the back-to-back. So yeah, we'll get into all that. Yeah. Do you want to, I was just going to get right into it. We can look at, game number 1 here. Let me just start here. Do you have anything for this awful
absolutely not. We can, okay. There's like stuff I looked at. I was like looking at props madness, but you're paying such a Wizards tax on these props. I mean, Şengün, when I looked at him this morning, his over under was 22.5. Now that number came down a little bit. It's at 20.5 now, but he's not a 20.5 for minus money kind of guy. Like that's just not how I want to play Şengün. Sure. I want to play him 20 plus for relatively even money. I know that he put 25 plus up last time against the Wizards, I believe. 27.
Yeah, he had a monster game against them. He had not on the assist, but it was the 17 and 20.
It was the boards. Yeah.
So like
17 sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
So if like Şengün points and or rebounds, I think is solid. I also looked at Amen Thompson. I like a lot too. Like that's a good matchup, but I'm not paying tax on the Wizards. Yeah. It's just like normally I love targeting them, but not when they're outrageous as this. So no, I'm happy.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's completely wild. And I should mention too, we are using Props Madness if you guys are not familiar, but any questions you guys have about that stuff, definitely feel free to throw it in the chat. You can use code LYB as well while you're, if you're signing up for an account, but you can get a 7-day free trial of this anyway, which I highly recommend. I know you're using it a lot more nowadays. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, I knew somebody like you as well would, because we're looking at the same stuff here, which is like, can I filter this with, this is the best part that's really nowhere else, right? Is like the ability to filter opponent points in the paint allowed.
Yeah.
Right. Like how does he do against this exact type of team? Something that Kyle talks about for sides and totals as well, I know on the Sauce Network, is like, how does the team that he's going up against tonight, how have they done against similar teams to that in the past? Right.
Exactly.
And that's what you can do with this advanced filter stuff, which is great. And then for people like you and me, it's also when it comes to the matchup part of it, like this is where it's at. Otherwise, we're going to be taking double the amount of time to go to like NBA stats page and find all the player type analysis right here.
Yeah.
The season shot charts, where are the teams weakest at limiting, blah, blah, blah. So this is it for sure, the GOAT. But I am with you. I'm not touching this game. I don't even know if we have the final injury report. I don't believe so.
No, I don't think we do.
Yeah, exactly. Live show producer David here will be helping us out with those. So definitely throw those in the chat as well if you want to help him out. We can get some looks from you guys. But so from this game, I'm just going to see real quick. I know we got people talking about Amen Thompson. I don't really have a feeling, have a desire to touch this game either. So I think we can honestly just move past it. I do think we can start in this Suns Hornets game. Did you have anything for this?
Yeah, I do. So I took LaMelo Ball. I took him 30 plus points. I got that at plus 175. Last I checked, it went down to like plus 160, I think was the last I checked. Obviously, okay. I love props match. You just can't look at alt lines there.
Right.
But 30 plus is now plus 145. So that number jumped like 30 cents. I honestly would still take it at that number. I mean, the main line is over 26.5, which is obviously solid, but he's only landed between that number once this year. Landed between 27, 28, and 29.
Right.
So I would much rather get the minus or plus 145 even now than pay the minus 120, whatever it is at 26.5. I like the fact that like a 60% hit rate on scoring 30 points is pretty good. I get that he just got back from injury, but he played 33 minutes last game against the Cavs. Really tough matchup. Still put up 11 3-pointers, put up 20 shots, didn't shoot well. That's fine. Much tougher matchup. The Suns, it's kind of funny. I guess the stats must have updated because yesterday they had given up the 5th most points per game to pick and roll ball handlers. Today, this morning, that number was 20. That number was 25, so 6th most. Now it's on the 7th most, 24. Either way, still a good matchup. I had Maxey against them yesterday. That was before the Embiid news. Obviously, that helped me out. I had Maxey 25 plus. He went off for 31 points, and a lot of that was in the second half. And the LaMelo part, sorry, I know I'm kind of rambling here.
No,
but
please, you're covering it all. Go get it.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people or a lot of the times that he went over happened to be games, or not happened to be, were games that Miles Bridges missed. Like if you look at him with Miles Bridges, it's not as good of a hit rate.
Yeah.
But a lot of those games were also against tougher defenses. So if you filter this against teams bottom 10 guarding the pick and roll ball handler, play type. Yep, by play type. Go like 21 to 29, the bottom 10. He's over in 4 of 7, averaging like 30 points.
Gotcha.
So it looks a little bit better there.
Might be the worst. So that's why are they 30th?
They're in the bottom 10. That's why that's why you see 29.
Right.
Because they're in the bottom 10. Yeah,
they are for sure. Yeah. Cool. Jokic playing cool. I got the official word there. I see what you're saying. Obviously some bad matchups, some good matchups, but yeah, it's really just going to come down to the volume. I think that's also one way to look at this for LaMelo, because I haven't bet him. But I think that if you do look at the amount of shots more than anything, God, this is annoying me. All right, if you do it with that, let me put we can do it with Miles Bridges in, but the other thing I want to look at here is like field goal attempts real quick and just see like if he takes 20, what's he at? And he's rarely not taking 20. So he's taken 20 in 19 games, 15 of 19. He's going over the 26.5 and getting 32.5 on average. Even if you bump this up with this little yellow tab over here to like over 29.5, you're still at 14 of 19.
Yeah,
that he's
it's
got
only one game. It's only one game.
And I know that you know about this too, because we both look at similar stuff here on NBA stats. But if you go to opponent shooting, and you look at the pull-up stuff here against the Phoenix Suns, that's how you beat this defense. It's a Mike Budenholzer defense, so they have the highest frequency of pull-up shots against them on the season. They're at like the third highest frequency of 3-point pull-ups. That's what LaMelo's doing. That's what we know. I'm starting to like this 26.5 a good amount, because I have no reason to believe he's not going to shoot 20 plus times in this game, regardless of who's in there. So let me do it this way: 20 plus field goal attempts minimum. And then let me put in, because this is going to sort of shorten the ceiling. I'm going to put it with Miller, Bridges, and that's it, actually, because we don't have any Trey Mann. So with those guys here, it's a little bit worse, obviously, but he's still taking 20 plus shots. And in those games where he took 20 here against the Bucks, he took 23, and then he took 20 the other night against the Cavs, but still over in 4 of 7, averaging 29.6. So once again, I have this on 29.5. You just go back down to his core prop of 26.5, a lot closer, still the same hit rate, but I think I can get there with 26.5 and talk myself into it, to be honest, is where I'm at. Let me put a pin in that real quick, because I do have a pick for this game already. I'll come back to LaMelo and decide if I'm putting that on my card.
Sure.
But I do have you're good.
No, it's just the dogs are going crazy. I was making sure nobody's at the front door or anything. So if you mute, dogs going crazy, that's what's going on.
All right, no worries. Yeah, you're good. Usually we need to find the pattern, though, of like when they go off, like do bets hit or not when we're talking about them. Yeah. I know that's hyper specific, but if we could get somebody on that.
Well, we used to have it when I was doing this was years ago when I was doing my podcast. Whenever my dog would bark, I'd have to give out like an underdog plus money play. And then we would track those. Like, all right, how did the Carson underdog play do?
We need to incorporate the dogs in the show for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
David, would you mind bringing that comment back up real quick? Because I did want to see about that real quick. The threes were also a good look. I know somebody in the chat was bringing up threes for LaMelo. So the question is, how many threes does he get average when he has 26 plus points? Probably. I would honestly be doing it the other way. Like basically his 3.5 point prop is at like normal odds here. It's actually at really, really juiced down. So it's like 3.5 minus 145, indicating there's a really good chance he's going to get 4 threes tonight. So the way I would be looking at this is more like how many points does he get when he hits 4 plus threes, right? And that's where I'd be going before anything. So even if we just don't look at these two dudes in or out, if we just go to 3-pointers made, which I probably pass back here. So if we look at 3P and we give him like 4 and say he hits at least 4, and let's say he hits 4 to 6, which is still a pretty high amount. But if he hits that amount, how often is he getting 27 points? And the answer is quite frequently, right? If he hits 4 threes, he's actually at least 4 threes, anywhere from 4 to 6, averaging 33 points per game in that situation. So the 3.5 prop, the threes prop itself at 3.5 is just actually also helping us sort of prove that he's going to go over 27 and is probably good for 30. If the books are accurate in their prediction that he's going to get 4 threes at minus 145, seems like a really good chance that he does. So yeah, I think this all points towards points for LaMelo. I'm really, really still talking myself into it. I don't know why this would move against me at this point, but yeah, I think, you know what, David, I think we got to hit it because I'm going to hit myself if I don't hit this. So if you're good, let's throw that on the bottom line, if you don't mind.
Yep. There we go.
Over 26.5 for LaMelo. Let me just make sure it's not better since
no 30 plus. Can't convince you on a 30 plus.
I'm going to keep going with my volume, so I'm going to have so much volume that I don't know if I need that in there, but I'm not going to poo-poo it. I'm so bad at alt lines this season too, to be honest. That's been the sort of bulk of my losses, if we're being honest. Player points on F Dizzy for LaMelo, 26.5 minus 118.
Ooh, even better.
That's a better number than what we saw on DK, right? Minus 120.
Yeah, DK was minus 120.
Sweet. All right, let's throw that in there, please, David. Good sir. Did you have anything else for this game?
No, I didn't have any official bets. Mark Williams, I thought was a good look for his points. He's been his minutes are back up to mid-20s, which is respectable. It's a decent matchup, but I didn't want to take LaMelo Ball 30 plus and then have someone on the same team points. Yeah. So I didn't do it.
I feel it. All right, got LaMelo on the card. I have one more from this game because I could not get away from Brad Beal. You can still probably get what I took, but just juiced all the way down. I loved the 14.5 points, but I added the assists and went for the 17.5 points and assists. And I got that at minus 110-ish. Let me just make sure I'm not lying to you. I got Brad Beal minus 115 on DraftKings for the points and assists over. So the thinking there was essentially, this is now we've got the new lineups, right? So yesterday we saw him go off. Great. He had the 30 PA where he had 25 points and 5 dimes. That's great. This is more about the fact that he's now playing without Devin Booker. And that's really what this mostly comes down to, is that he's going to be playing more minutes in the game with the second unit. So he's playing weaker competition, plus he's playing against Devin Booker. And teams will probably start to sort of make their lineups more malleable so that they have a better defender on the second unit for Brad Beal. I don't even know who that would be for the Charlotte Hornets, so I'm really not worried about it. But yeah, dogs are barking for Beal, so we know that's a good sign.
While you're talking about Beal, I'm just going to go make sure that my house isn't getting broken into because they're still going nuts. So I'm just going to go figure out what's going on. I'll be right back.
We'll assume you just got shot by some robbers.
Just assume my house got robbed or the dogs killed me. One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, they were hungry and you should have fed them. But all right, so for bad, we still trust in Beal. By the way, Shadow's wicked. Appreciate you always supporting, bro. Good to have you around. Yes, we are still trusting Brad Beal for the reasons I'm giving here. So what I like the most is, first of all, he's not losing minutes. He still played 30 minutes yesterday in the 10-point win against Philly and probably would have played more of the fourth quarter if they really needed him to. That's number one. Number two is, so we can still project him for the 32 to 34 minutes that he's playing per game this season for Brad Beal. It's just that he's coming off the bench, but he's still going to close the game with this team and play fourth quarter minutes big time. So nothing to worry about for his minutes. That's the first and foremost thing. But if you are worried about it, if you're not worried about it, then why is this at such a low prop compared to his season average to start, right? 18 points per game, and he's at 14.5 in this one. Now, even if we do make sure we have Booker and KD take into account the games that they've played, he's still averaging better than 14.5. And I like the increase in the amount of that time that he's playing without Booker. So the only other thing to show you that really helps me push this over the top, we can take a look at that. Fire Doug Peterson. By the way, you got your wish.
He's gone.
Your name. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah,
so fired. Doug Peterson.
Fired. Yeah. Or just hashtag thank God we fired Doug Peterson.
That too.
I'm going to go to my fantasy labs here and just show you guys real quick. Phoenix. I hate that I have to make it smaller. Phoenix, and then take Brad Beal, put him on court, and just take Booker and put him off court. I don't even care who Brad Beal is playing with at this point. But once again, because he's playing with the second unit, I do think the fact that he's playing with less talent around him and on the other side, it's going to mean bigger stuff for him, more points. So without Book this season, per 36 minutes, he's at 22.4 points per 36. Like I said, he's at the 3.6 or 7 assists as well. So I'm fine adding the dimes because they were a really good number here as well. For the dimes, they were at 2.5. So it was the 2.5 number that got me to 17.5. You can see it's now 18.5 because there's no more 2.5 assist lines available. So that would be why I actually would just end up going to the 14.5, or if you just want to take 15.5 so you don't have to deal with the juice. I think he's going to be good he should be projected for about 17, 18 points in 32 minutes or so, which is what he's averaging on the season. There you go. I have no reason to think that Brad can't do that tonight against this poo-poo ass team and their defense. So the 24 per 36 without Book on the season is helping me get there. But that's it for this. Oh no, I lied. I did have Miles Bridges, but that's way gone. So we talked about this yesterday. I took Miles Bridges on the boards. That was one thing that they still had. This is minus 160. I got this minus 120 on Bet365. So that's not available. If you want to take this for like plus money at 7.5, like maybe dumb down the units, trim them a little bit. But yeah, this is also just 10 rebounds per 36 minutes when he plays without Grant Williams, Musa Diabate. There's a couple other guys in there that was just really easy to get those minutes. Once again, for those of you tuning in, like this is where we're doing that. This is linked in the description of the video. It's Fantasy Labs. Everything you're looking at here is in front of a paywall. It's all free. So this just helps you get an understanding more than just what happens in the games where Booker doesn't play, what happens in the exact minutes that Brad Beal is playing without Devin Booker, because that happens plenty of times a game. So that's what we're going to get an increase in here. Miles Bridges is the same concept. It's what he's doing when he's playing with LaMelo, when he's playing with Brandon Miller. They're both on the floor. And then you take out the guys that are going to not be playing tonight, which is like Grant Williams, Musa Diabate, Trey Mann, a couple others. And that's where we're at, is like 10 per 36. So with the minutes projection for Miles still at about 32, no reason to think he's going to go under that. They were not really in that Cavs game. He played 26 minutes, still got 8 boards with 14 rebound chances in 26 minutes. So against a good rebounding team. And this is not a bad one, but also not a very good one, sort of middle of the pack for Phoenix. So I got that for Bridges. That's also scrolling on the bottom line. We good to move past this one, you think?
Yeah, I love that Bridges look too. I think that's really good.
Yeah. And you're not going with Mark Will or anything?
No, that was just a look. The Hawk was on it.
Okay.
I think it's solid, but yeah, no, I didn't bet it.
I got you. All right. Quick reminder here. This is going to look weird, but go ahead and give that video a like if you would. Goes a super long way. Much appreciated. This is going to look weird, but it's okay because I want to show you that you do get a free month in the VIP if you sign up for one of the books that you see in the description of the video. Also, in the right below us, you can see there too. We've got the that stuff scrolling. But if you want to get a free month, go ahead and sign up using code LYB, get your free money, and then you can go ahead and send me a screenshot on Twitter or Discord at JL Boogie. We'll get you a free month in there so you can check that out. Mr. Modai, do you have a game because I know you had some looks that you wanted to go over. I'm just putting this game up as the placeholder, but I would love to know what looks you were like, I really want to talk about this on the show.
Yeah. So So I had 2 in one game that were official bets. The one game that I wanted to talk to you about that I ended up deciding on a play. Well, actually there's 2. Number one, and I did end up actually betting it. It's in the Hawks Jazz game. Nice. I knew I wanted to target somebody with Jalen Johnson out. I didn't know who it was. And when I looked this morning, they didn't have odds out for DeAndre Hunter or Bogdan. It was only, I looked at, you could even see, like, I do the same thing. I screen share. There's nobody available, or not. Sorry. It was and it doesn't matter. I was like, I want to target somebody on the Hawks, but there's no Hunter available. There was no Bogdan available. So I wanted to wait. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I ended up settling on DeAndre Hunter. I took him 20 plus points. I got that at even money plus 100. I mean, the screen kind of proved my point. I guess that's the plus 100 was FanDuel, which I know isn't on Props Madness.
Let's see what it is there real quick.
But that might have also moved. It's also on Flip on 20 plus.
Nice.
But yeah, it was. We can see if that's still available.
20 plus for Hunter, minus 110.
So now it's minus 110. Yeah. So I would go check Flip for 20 plus. That's at plus 100. That was still available before we hopped on. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I set it on Hunter was he scores the most transition points in the Hawks. He's number 1. The Jazz are the worst transition defense in the NBA. And he scores the most catch and shoot points on the Hawks as well. And the Jazz are one of the worst catch and shoot defenses. So that's kind of what led me to DeAndre Hunter. On the season, they're like the worst, third highest frequency, most made. I think they're a little bit better if you look at last 10 games, but they're still not really a team that I'm scared of. Like, even though they're slightly better last 10 games, they're definitely not something I'm scared of.
And the reason to me would be also there's been a few games without Keontae George. That means just a little bit more like Colin Sexton. So we're trading bad defense for good defense. Yeah.
Yeah, true. So they're like closer to 10th in terms of. I was looking at 3-pointers. They may be a little. Yeah, I guess they're a little bit lower for.
They're still bad.
Or maybe it was a 10. I don't know. I looked at last 10 and it wasn't.
Yeah, they're still right around here. Last 10, whatever. I would also say I think in their last 10 they've had a pretty easy strength of schedule, but. Yeah,
exactly. So then, so that's what led me to DeAndre Hunter. He's performed well against teams that are bottom 10 in transition, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So
play type here.
Yeah. So I
what,
think
what we're doing real quick, just so everybody knows too, when you're using Props Madness, opponent rank versus defensive play type, right? So basically you can go to advanced filters, find that particular stat to then filter it and see what happens when DeAndre Hunter plays against teams that are not good at defending his play type, AKA transition. So we're just looking now at, by filtering it, we're just saying how has DeAndre Hunter performed in the past against other teams that are in the bottom 10 or so, limiting transition points, right? So please continue with that.
Yeah, I think it was like 6 of 9. Yeah, there you go. 6 of 9. That's a very nice number.
Very
weird game against the Lakers. I don't know what happened in that one against the Lakers. Probably
he was sick. He almost didn't play in that game, and they got shellacked. And he was 1 for 12. Total anomaly. Do not let that deter you from betting on DeAndre, my beloved DeAndre, by the way.
Yeah, so that's honestly something you could even take out. It looks even better if you take that one out. But yeah, so I took it, like I said, took him 20 plus 100. And I was debating between him and Reece Shea were the two that I was looking at, but all that stuff is what led me to Hunter. So that was an official bet. It was a lean when I texted you about it this morning. Got you.
Okay. Well, I have it on my card.
There we go.
So we're in sync here. And I took this at 18.5, knowing good and well that without Jalen Johnson, this should be higher. Right. And for me, what I noticed, I actually was looking at the field goal attempts and going with that. So if you take out JJ here and you look at the attempts for him, 16, 14, 20 against the Nuggets when they got smacked, but the 20 was without Bogey, I should say too. And then in 25 minutes, he took 15 shots against Sac and scored 24 with 60%. But the key there was 14, 15, 16, 20, right? For all these shot attempts. So that just led me to go, that's probably a fair projection for him tonight is the field goal attempts. So let's see what he's done when he's taken 14 plus field goal attempts on the season. And he's done that 14 times, gone over in 12 of them, averaging 23 a game. So as long as he's getting the shots up, and the other thing here is 28 minutes is his thing. You're not going to see much more than that. This is 28, 26, 29, 28, 24, 36, one without JJ. But then, 30 is about his ceiling. So the point is can he do this in 28, 29 minutes? And the answer is absolutely hell yes, especially when you look at the way that he's played this season. If we just put him on court for a minute and we take off Jalen Johnson, we're still looking at about like 22 points per 36 or so. I think he's good for like 32 minutes tonight. I'm not even going to click all these filters. Just go ahead and feel free to trust me that if you did this with DeAndre Hunter on court without Jalen Johnson, that you're good to go. So I think that's a great look. I didn't know where to go with anybody else on the Hawks because everything that I looked at without Jalen Johnson doesn't really go up that much. It would have been
noticed the same thing. Yeah.
And it would have been Dyson Daniels' assists, but it's juiced, right? So that's it. That's all I could say. Because if I look at him without it, that's where I was at last game. I took him. We even laddered him against Denver because they're so bad limiting assists in this first game where he got 6. We took him for over 3.5 for like even money, and then we took him for 4+ at like plus 185. Love those bets, but I just at 3.5 for minus money. I don't really want to take it for 4 for 5 at this point for like close to even money. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I did have some requests to look at Walker Kessler. Did you have any initial thoughts about him?
Yeah, I think the Hawks are bad.
Sorry, I just got to call out this comment because Craig Zone's just coming at you. Classic. Got him.
It's good stuff. I know there are a lot of people. I didn't see much on Kessler. I saw a lot of people on Clint Capella, his rebounds, which I know like someone I respect in my Discord likes his rebounds. I personally didn't think it was a hit. His rebound chances are just terrible. If you look at this was. So I was even talking about Capella for Kessler.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
But Kessler's the same thing because his odds are so like 12.5 for Kessler is a high number.
Very high. What's the set for him? Did it get over 10? Oh, it was 9.5 still.
9.5 for even money isn't terrible, but like look at his rebound chances are not good. That's without Jalen Johnson. 10, 14 is fine, 12, and then 22. So like there's 1 of 4 games you're happy with his rebound chances.
Right. To get 10. Yeah.
Exactly. And the Jazz, like according to player profile, if you scroll down a little bit, doesn't look like a good matchup.
Yeah.
Both by props madness and by position. Like 4 of 11, and if you go to centers, it's 5 of the last 15. Right. So I know a lot of people liked it. So like maybe I'm just on an island here looking at something incorrectly, and like people I respect, not just like random jamokes. Right. Yeah, it wasn't a hit for me. But Kessler, I did not look at.
Oh, so you're still talking just about CC. People were looking at CC. Interesting. Let me take a look at this with Kessler real quick. First quarter rebounds. Yeah, that's like it doesn't pull through here, and it's on very specific ones, but the rebounds might make sense too, first quarter or not. For CC, yeah, I'm not touching it, to be honest. I don't like betting on Clint or when Onyeka Okongwu's playing. I honestly don't really like it without him. This is true. I saw this story that Walker Kessler's girl won Miss Alabama is what she was, and she won Miss America for sure.
Wow.
Got to help to be 7 feet tall, making millions. Cannot.
That's got to be an over for Kessler then, knowing that.
Definitely an over.
If I'd known that, I would have bet his rebounds.
Yeah, no. And if we're talking about over under that she's way hotter than him, I mean, we always would have bet the over.
That's an over, yeah,
for sure. That was a big time over. All right, so for Kessler, the double, I don't think we're going to get much on the juice of that anymore. I'm assuming here. Let's just see what it is on Fan Dizzy. If we put it double minus 130, I don't know that I'd want to touch that, but the points are at 11.5. The boards are at 12.5. That's why that's gone down. I'm sure some places still have 11.5. It's just not a number that I feel like messing with. The reason might be that he's gonna play the minutes because there's no John Collins, I guess, but there's still backup centers out there for him. We got Jordan Poole out. I don't know that I'm going to touch that game regardless, to be honest. Like, I don't think I'm touching that one. Yeah, it's just injuries everywhere. And I don't think I'm touching Pelicans Wolves, by the way, in case anyone wants that. This is nice. Shout out JK, one of the VIP cappers in the Discord as well. If you guys are looking for more plays, this man has some crazy angles that he finds. But 4 plus rebounds and 7 straight, including 5 plus and 5 straight and 6 plus in the last 2. He's crazy. Yeah, he's going to be continuing to get minutes, and he seems to be playing like most of the first quarter. Actually, if I just pull up the playing 8 minutes, 9 minutes, so it's a good look. I totally agree with that. Keep in mind, I think Lowry missed a few games as well. I know you missed this one. We still have no John Collins. So, yeah, I think I'm kind of good. I've got my DeAndre Hunter bet, and I don't know that I really want to mess with too much else in this game. And like I said, I'm not touching Rockets Wizards, and I'm not touching Pelicans Wolves. I think DeJounte Murray is still questionable, and Zion is now in. I have no clue how to cap that. I'm not touching it. So
I actually did play something in Timberwolves Pelicans, but it was on the other side. It was on the Timberwolves part.
Okay.
I took Naz Reid. I took him 15 plus points, plus 120. It's a little bit speculation, but if what we saw yesterday, them not playing Julius Randle nearly as much and them opting to play Naz Reid a lot more, is what I think is something that could help. I know like his hit rate on the year is disgusting. I think it's 15 of 35 games. But maybe even less than that.
12.5. Sorry, what was the number there?
I took 15 plus.
Oh, okay, got it. Yeah, makes sense.
But it's a matchup thing. So like even if he plays the exact same minutes he normally plays, it's a matchup thing. Like the Pelicans give up, I think it was 6th most points per game to spot up shooters and the 3rd most points per game. So it's 7th to spot up, 3rd most via transition.
But if you look at catch and shoot, it's even worse.
Exactly, catch and shoot is worse. Yep.
Yeah, they are bottom, whatever. Yeah, they're bad. They're good against the pull up. They're bad against the catch and shoot.
And they leave a lot of guys wide open too. It's the same thing as last year. So like their defense is hard to know because you don't know who's playing. So like you don't know what the data to trust. But I know that last year they were a team that would leave shooters wide open, and it's the same thing this year. And Naz Reid, and he's looked like if you look at games again, I do this with every play. Bottom 10 against his play type where he scores the most points.
Right.
The hit rate is a lot more reasonable. So if you look at bottom 10, it goes from like a 40% hit rate to he's done it in whatever that number is.
Yeah.
If you scroll up a little bit, it's
9 of 14.
15. Yeah, 9 of 14. So it's like a much better hit rate. Yeah. And then if he plays more minutes, then obviously he could score more points. That's just how it works. So
nice.
So that was one that I did bet.
Yeah. I like it. I love Naz. I don't have as much of an understanding of when to bet him, but I do love his ability. If he gets like 25 minutes, essentially, like then he's good to go. Zion will feast. That's not wrong. I'm not sure how
on food or on the basketball court,
but this is bad. And I believe this. They got the BOGO going, buy one get one gumbo at Pell's Arena. I mean, I would get one and then I'd buy one and get the free one too. So
I don't know if I want to eat gumbo at a basketball arena. Is the only thing.
A lot of gumbo. Yeah. But this is good detectives work by the chat. I appreciate you guys letting us know what's going down.
That's why he's playing. That's funny.
Right.
That's why his son's playing. That's funny.
Dude, yeah, I wouldn't. I hear you on Naz, and I totally like it. And Julius Randle under PRA and such has been pretty nice cash cow pretty much all season. So no reason to think that it would sort of slow down here. Yeah, I don't know how to. I'm not going to touch it. Another quick reminder: go ahead and give that video a like if you would. Definitely goes a long way if Matt or I are helping you in any way. Even if it's not me, it's just Matt. You can still give the video a like. You're supporting Matt's friend, me, so that's nice. I haven't touched much else. Oh, I did get into this Mavs game, so let me talk about that one. And a quick reminder too: if you do want to get a free month in the VIP, despite yesterday's poo-poo day, you can still get in for a free month if you sign up for a sports book that is listed in the description of the video. So sign up, send me a screenshot showing me that you signed up and got all that free money and bonus bets, and we'll get you a free month in the VIP. But let's go to the LALDAL game here. And the only thing that I touched so far, and I don't know if I would go anywhere else, but I took Jaden Hardy. I took him for minus 105 at 10.5 points. It really just came down to, like, first of all, I took Spencer Dinwiddie yesterday. My huge apologies to everybody. I should definitely just like hand somebody some money back. I'm probably not going to because I already lost my own money on it. But this was just, I just don't respect this man's game. And like once every 7 times out that he plays without the stars, he does well. And that was enough for me. It's stupid. It was just beyond stupid. Then they started Najee Marshall. So Spencer didn't even get the 35 minutes he could have. He got 30 and he still shot the ball 3 times. So all of my negative Spencer Dinwiddie stuff was just like, well, like this man's not afraid to shoot. This is Cam Thomas's cousin, Jaden Hardy. They're not actually cousins, but like they're the same player is my point.
They play like it, yeah.
They play like it, yeah. So if you look at him, give him 20 plus minutes, which he's been hurt this year, and he's only playing when you have no Luka and Kyrie, at least more than like 7 minutes. But there we go, right? Like you give him the minutes here. He's at 13 points per game, over in 7 of 9. One of these was with Luka, by the way. Luka was available for that Utah game that they lost by 2. He saw 22 minutes, but he took 6 shots because he's on the floor with Luka. Well, now he's on the floor with either Najee or Spencer Dinwiddie, or honestly himself and like PJ Washington are handling the offense at that point. So I think Hardy's going to continue to be really, really involved. I thought about the stuff here for Derek Lively without Gafford. But like this is a man who in his entire career without Gafford is still averaging about 7.9 rebounds per game. So there wasn't really anything there that was like, yeah, Gafford out, Lively more. It's just he's still going to play 30, 32 minutes. This might be a blowout. I think it could be, to be honest. I have no respect for this Mavs team, obviously, without its 2 best players. So I don't think that's weird to say. But did you have any looks for Lakers, Mavs?
No. The only one that I considered was AD. His assists I thought was decent because the Mavs are kind of a center assist team. But the odds just weren't worth it. I mean, I wanted to play over 3.5 for plus money. Right. And you're not getting that. So from an odds perspective, it just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, that's the core line. That's interesting. I'm just going over to the FanDuel Fantasy Pros deal for a minute. Just looking at the dimes against the who are we talking about right now? The
Mavericks. They're middle of the pack in terms of, or maybe like closer to top. I guess that's what they're like 8th most, 9th most, or something.
8th most. Yeah.
But it's that, and it's also if you look at both centers and the player profile thing on Props Madness
for the dimes.
For AD, it looked like it's 3 or 4, get a tiny sample size, and then if you go by position, it still looks good. 4 of 6.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't. Their defense is so like sort of versatile in a lot of ways. Like it kind of goes back and forth. But this was a good look too for Hardy. Was the over 1.5 threes made? I just went for the points because I do know that he can do more than shoot threes. But the 3-point attempts are probably there for him. I'm just going to go back to him for a second because this is a good look by JK as well. And I agree. 3.5 for the center is not enough, especially with LeBron and Austin Reeves in just to close the point. But if we're on Hardy here, the threes you can still get for plus money, plus 120 on DK. And let's see, 5 of his 10 shots last game were 3. So you do still get some outs. Honestly, I'm also just so tired. Yes, I'm just so tired of 3-point props dicking me, to be honest, because that's the game that the dude goes 1 for 7, but he still got, we went to the foul line 6 times. And like, I'm not getting caught by that as much as I can avoid it. Now, the plus money with it's the volume. If I see an opportunity to get in front of the volume, like this is what JK brought up a minute ago. It was like, if Jaden Hardy was, he's only shooting like 4, right? If he was shooting like 7 and all he needed to make was 2, I'd be like, hell yeah, even for like minus 120, I'm probably going to take that because I only need to make 2 of 7 if I really strongly believe he's taking 7 tonight. I don't know how many he's taken. This is a good 3-point defense for LA as of late anyway. And on the season now, 9th best, limiting the amount of attempts. Obviously not having D'Angelo Russell is always, or as we should be calling him, Angelo Russell. It's too easy. I don't know why we don't be calling him Angelo.
He doesn't play D.
Got no D, right? So why would we not be calling him Angelo? It's so easy. But anyway, that's where I'm at with this one. Yeah, if you have nothing else for this one too, I'm with you on that. I like the threes if you want to aim for plus money. If you're plus money hounds, I thought about Max Christie again. I couldn't get there with Max Christie just because of what he's done to me in the past. But he was inserted into the starting lineup about 8 games ago, I think. And so most of his 30-minute games on the season are all in the last like 2 weeks, right? With a couple coming back in November. So he's played at least 30 in like 4 of the last 6, essentially. He got put in the starting lineup about 6 games ago. So PRA is still at a decent number. It's like 14.5, just because of the volume of minutes, because JJ Redick finally has a dude that plays defense in his starting lineup. So he's like, you're just going to stay there. I'm not going to take you out because I don't have anybody else doing that. So I'm there with it. A lot of people hated on me for Max Christie last time. Then he didn't hit. Then he hit the next game.
That's the
what
worst.
That's
the worst.
Yeah. So I should just keep playing him, but let's close out on or at least get through the Celtics Nuggets game as much as we can here. Did you have anything for this one? Because I
had 2 in this one, actually. They're both rebound props. One of them is Jamal Murray.
I think that's a good look.
Guard props against the Celtics. I mean, Murray's like, he's been terrible as a scorer. His rebounding has been there all year. I got 3.5 at -120. This is one where I didn't go over I took the minus money play for this one.
Yeah.
And I want to see see if you can even get a anything remotely 3.5. Looks like you're getting -140. So what I did was I took over 3.5 and then I put a quarter unit on 6+. So maybe take over 4.5 for a half unit and just kind of split the difference. Yeah. 6+ was +340 when I got it. I put a quarter unit on that.
I don't even have it right now. I'm sorry. It's right down here. You got +340, +300.
Yeah, so it's a little bit worse, but not terrible. But yeah, I mean, it's just guard rebound props against. So it's 320 on Caesars actually. But anyways, it's just guard rebound props against the Celtics. And as I mentioned, he hasn't been terrible as a rebounder. Like if you look at that number, the 3.5 number,
3.5 is a really nice hit rate.
It's 15 of 22 games this year, averaging over about 4 rebounds per game. He hit it in both games against the Celtics last year. So sorry, 18 of 28. Because the whole thing. He hit it in both games against the Celtics last year. Guards have had success rebounding against the Celtics. And that's also why I laddered it up to 6 because of the rebound chances was 11 and 10. This thing is if you go to NBA.com, you can filter by just guard because you know what I mean?
Well, no. So where are you talking about?
So go to so it's still teams.
Okay.
And then go to general and then go to opponent and then click the advanced filters.
Interesting. Right. And then just go to guard.
All positions go to guard.
Right. So you don't have to worry about point guard or shooting guard because honestly, totally.
It's just because it's guards. Like I just care about guards. If you go to opponent rebounds, the Celtics are up there.
Right. Fifth most to guard. This is such a better way to do it. Look at how bad this team is at rebounding. Jesus. The Thunder are giving up 8 more rebounds to guards per game than any other team.
The Thunder are crazy.
Yep. Pop up is a great idea at Land Your Bets. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Yeah. Wait. That was amazing. I just got complimented by the Godfather. Are we allowed to call you that, Kyle?
Kyle Kerms. Yeah.
The Kyle Kerms is saying you should pop up injury reports. I love you, Kyle. Thanks, man. That is a vote of confidence that I could always deal with. Please. Yeah. Like I haven't stolen shit from your show before. Like the idea to do this and make a career out of it kind of came from seeing other people do it too, man. So appreciate you, my G, always. All right. I love it. Yeah. I'm going to start doing it that way as well on NBA stats. Like it's so much better than this. We miss you courtside, pal. Like we miss you so much. Right.
I know. What are we doing here?
If you know, you know. I'm not even going to get into it because we don't have it right now. I think dude sold Ballpark Pal or whatever.
Oh, did he?
Or he at least got like a ton of investment in it in a way that was like, I don't think worth it for him to do Courtside Pal anymore. But I was blowing that dude up, asking him questions about a million different things.
Same. But, he stopped responding to me. He probably got so sick of me.
He probably got sick of everybody that he didn't have to, that wasn't paying him a lot of money. But Jamie's asking about the double-double for Mark Will. You got a +165. It's around +130 now. I don't know about at this point,
boards.
Mark Will. Yeah, I mean, Centers, it's the other weirdness here is just like, what's the rotate? Like, I know Miles Bridges is going to play, so I took the rebounds for him. Mark will, like, if they've got small ball going out there, like if they don't even have Plumlee or Nurk out there at one point, then it's going to be Ryan Dunn and KD. Can you have Mark Will out there? At the same time, does it matter who you put out there for Charlotte? Like, I don't know. Do you just give Mark Will the minutes? Let me see real quick. This season, if we took him, he's at 13.5 points. Was he 11.5 boards? Oh, still 9.5. So you're really just taking the boards.
You're getting a better price and you're taking the boards. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's plus 130 for the double, I mean, I don't even know that he's a guaranteed. He's been shooting a good amount. Phoenix down low real quick. Obviously you need to know right next to the basket, they're good. This is always trips me out, but it's that drop defense for Bud, right? It's Budenholzer. So
yeah, they're one of those teams that like, they won't let you score in the paint, but they'll give you that shot after. Like the Celtics or the Nuggets are the same way. At least they used to be. They're the same way. Like that little push shot from the non-restricted area of the paint, they'll just say, take it.
No doubt. What's up, Yoshua? Good to see you, man. Definitely go ahead and give that video a like if you would. We got a couple of the VIPs throwing their picks in there as well. So make sure you're checking the comments for guys like JK and Free Sauce. And maybe Kyle will bless us if he's still in there with whatever sides he's on today. Or you can just give us Crispy Cappen's picks because I mean we kind of trust him a little bit more anyway. But all right, let's see about this one. I did take a couple bets. I took Jokic. Oh wow. At 28.5 is around, just not at actual legit price. I took 28.5 on MGM minus 125 because they were just wrong to put that up. Everybody else had 29.5. So I took it there, but I think 29.5 was playable up to about minus 120 was what I said in the VIP chat when I put that down. But I got to go to Jokic. Like this is as chalk as you're going to get. And I don't care because Jokic is somebody who, when I think he's going to try to score over everything else, then he's going to do it. And that's what matters is like, there's few to no humans that are alive that can stop Nikola Jokic from getting 2 points when he decides he wants 2 points. So I think that's what he's going to do because the Celtics give you 2 points. And that was part of the write-up. Yes, Free Sauce had some sick looks recently, but that's what it is for the Celtics is we're going to give you 2 and we're not going to give you 3. That's why they don't give up the catch and shoot. They give up the pull up. Or they give up what Jokic is doing, which is the post up, the ISO, anything to that degree is going to be Jokic's time to shine. And if they do start doubling, then okay, they start to double. 1, still not really worried about it. 2, not really worried about him getting him like forcing it at that point. So I'm good with it. But yeah, right.
People love this hoodie, Kyle. You don't just don't understand. You're not in the know. This is a very popular hoodie.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate the love though, for sure. And yeah, we do have another like 120 on Twitter. So just saying, like we're up there. We broke some records this past couple of days, but no, we're happy to have the guest. So that's the cap here on Jokic is like I think he's going to be good for 20 to 24 shots. He's taking more shots this year because Jamal Murray is not the old Jamal Murray. It's not like a year or two ago. It's Jamal Murray, just ain't him. So that's kind of where I'm at with Jokic. Do you have any thoughts on that before we get to any other stuff in here?
No, I think it's awesome. I mean, yeah, it's the thing. I always hate betting Jokic because you just never know when he's going to try and score. And like I bet him, I forget what game it was. It was the Clippers game or no, whatever game it was. Where he didn't do anything. Like he just one of those games where he didn't try to score.
It was the Clippers, 16 points in 30 minutes. They won by 22.
Yeah, he put up 9 shots, but thank you. This was not. It doesn't matter. It was a game where it was a big game. I thought he was going to try and score, he didn't, and then that's just like that's why I hate Jokic.
Yeah.
But no, I mean he did it both games last year. It's a great matchup for him. He's just gonna if they put Porzingis on him again, he's just gonna own him. Like Porzingis just cannot hang with him down low.
I think that's what they're gonna do. Honestly.
Or unless they try to go Big Daddy Horford, but he's just so old at this point.
Yeah, I think we might see some more Luke Cornett, but even last year they didn't really try that because they didn't want to give up the offense because they just want to keep shooting threes against the 2s that Denver puts up. Yeah. We're definitely going to get to that Free Sauce too. I'm not going to ignore that, but that's also why I took Kristaps on the boards and not.
So I took Tatum. I did take Tatum.
But that's the
conversation. A little bit opposite. Yeah.
And I actually thought about taking Tatum as well. I just got a really great price on 6.5 at minus 106 on FanDuel. So I took it at 6.5 minus 106. It opened at 5.5, Matt. And I was trying to tell people in the VIP too. This is to me, this is an example of the books trying to trap people at times. Maybe, however you want to play it, but like if you're going to buy in at 5.5, they're going to mark you. They're just going to note that. You obviously, if you put in $10, maybe they don't give a shit. But if you put down 5, or if I gave out 5.5 and a couple hundred people went and bet 5.5 like that at -140, even, the books are going to take note of those people's accounts and go, you're clearly chasing CLV. And if you get that CLV against us to offense, then we're going to limit you in some way. So I kind of felt like that was a trap. But either way, the 6.5 here at -105 was good. Don't love it as much elsewhere, but this is centers getting rebounds against the Nuggets because of the fact that they're guarding Jokic, scoring, who's shooting more this year, 3 shots more per game this season than last year. And as a result, much worse defending center rebounds because they're now in between Jokic and the basket. So every miss that he has from inside of 5 to 10 feet is a rebound for the center guarding him, right? You just turn around and it's most likely coming right to you at that point. You're not guarding jump shots. You're not guarding that many threes. It's like 4 a game. So I still think that centers are good boards. And he played 35 and 36 minutes last year. He's been gearing up to play that amount of minutes in this one. So I think he's good for at least 30, which brings me to the seven rebounds essentially.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I took Tatum just because of Tatum in the lineup with Porzingis. You actually helped me find that out. And it's 7 of 10 games with Porzingis averaging over 11 rebounds per game. It's I forget the numbers exactly, but without Porzingis, he's averaging like 8.9, 8.8 rebounds per game. So obviously a lot lower. This wasn't the case last year. So I know a lot of people didn't like the Tatum boards because he missed it in both games last year and because Porzingis played in both of those games. But that was flipped last year. Like Tatum had significantly fewer boards with Porzingis, which is not the case this year. Right. So, so I was cool with it. It was also like plus money on that, solid. It was plus 112. I think you can still get plus money. Yeah. Caesar plus 108. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Like I think that's just a good price. And if we trust props madness, forwards, centers do as well. They both do, but forwards also have rebounding success against the Nuggets. It's 9 of 15, just forwards in general. And then it was, I think 4 of 5 or 4 of 6 with profiles similar to Tatum.
The props madness one. Yeah.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I might still bet this, to be honest. And Kyle was talking about liking the under in this game, which also is why I think it's interesting. We're both on 2 rebound props, which is what you want in an under versus an over, because there's going to be more missed shots, which I think everybody probably understands. But yeah, this is also hilarious because I was talking about the 5.5 and Jacob was like, I nuked the 5.5, which is like 5 for the Zingas.
Get ready to be limited, my friend.
But I hope you don't get limited, my guy. And also appreciate people shouting out the likes. Yeah, go ahead and give that video a like if you would. Goes a super long way. It doesn't take much up. That's good. All right, good. We're in the same boat here. People helping people. I initially got Kyle's spreadsheets. He gave me access to them because he's not insecure and he allowed me to look at his data that he pulls. And so I got some of that, and then I actually took it and was like, can I actually form this for player props? And then I got connected to his fucking back end web guy. Anyway, I'm glad you're using that too, bro. That's been helping me out a lot as well. But all right, that's 2 bets in there. Did you have anything else? I know D White might not play. I don't think we have an update on that. Do we have anything on that yet, David?
I think he's still questionable.
Okay. Yep, nothing's been updated. It's still questionable.
Yeah, and he was, correct me if I'm wrong, David, I don't know if you're following this, but he was a late add to the injury report, like all of a sudden today. Is that right? And
this afternoon.
Yeah, cool. And he wasn't at shoot around. He's sick. So yeah, I think that all makes sense that he looks like he's not going to play, man. But all right, let's see. The other thing, the other thing I wanted to bring up in this one was, the Tatum boards for sure. And then I like the Murray rebound. So actually that's it. Now, Free Sauce was bringing up the Christian Brown stuff here. So in looking at that real quick, he has really just hurt my feelings the last couple of games with his ability to score. And then he got pulled at the end for Peyton Watson. So I think my short answer to no, my short reasoning for no to Christian Brown is the potential now for Peyton Watson to come in and look way better than him at the end of the games, which is what they needed against the Spurs. I don't know why you wouldn't need that level of defense against the Celtics as well. And at the same time, I don't trust Peyton Watson. So I don't really know what to do with Christian Brown at this point. And I don't really know what to do with he and Peyton Watson. So I'm kind of out on them. I don't think Strother is going to have a good game either. But anyway, did you have one more for this game?
No, it was Tatum and Tatum and Murray. The only thing I wanted to comment on Christian Brown, I tend to for whatever reason. I mean, not for whatever reason, he scores the most in transition. I think he just runs the floor and Jokic finds him. So when he plays teams that are good at guarding transition, he doesn't perform well. Like the Spurs, because I wanted to bet him against the Spurs, but the Spurs are actually a decent transition defense.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's actually not what I would have expected. I was looking at him the opposite. Like if I looked at him against bottom 10.
Sorry. Let me help you though. I think we need to put Murray, Jokic, Porter in. Still not bad. Still good, but not as good.
That's actually better than I would have thought. But yeah, I was looking at
this game. Like he's at 13.9 in the season. He's at 13.7 against these teams. So it's still a little bit there that he's worse. But anyway.
And then so just for my own curiosity, go bottom 10. So do the opposite of that, because this is what I looked at was when I bet him. Yeah. So I guess I assumed that he was worse. But yeah, it's up to 15 points per game. I mean, that's 3 games against the Jazz, which is always going to help your average whenever you play the Jazz. But yeah, I always just look at him when he's playing a team that can't guard transition, because he just I think he just runs the floor and Jokic finds him.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, good. Thank you, NBA. No news for you guys. We'll have news for you. Maybe
here's an update. No news.
Yeah, precisely. Here's an update. You're going to have 10 minutes to bet on anybody in that game when the lines actually come out for that shit. Zion, we'll have a minutes limit. You know what? Fuck all the coaches in their coach speak, because RJ Barrett was supposed to be on a minutes limit last night, and Crank Zone will be the first one to tell you that RJ Barrett played the most goddamn minutes of any fucking Raptor last night, which makes a ton of sense. So thanks for that, coaches. That's all I've got on the card right now as well. I believe I added a couple here in this one, but there's a couple doo-doo games. We've got the back-to-back, so keep all that in mind. I'm good to run out on this one if you are, and just close things.
I didn't have anything in that Heat game, so I don't know if you didn't have any thoughts. I know somebody mentioned I think Jaquez rebounds, but when I'm betting on it, I think it was Crank actually who mentioned that. But when I'm betting on a team that's played a double overtime on a back-to-back, that's kind of my I'll pass. If I miss out on a bet in that situation, so be it.
Right. Cool. I like that look from Eamon there too. That's good. Because what was the one that you just pulled up, David?
Pritchard, sorry, 15 plus.
Yeah, the Eamon bet there. I like where your head's at, Eamon. With Pritchard too, like I do. If White's out though, I just don't know how to like really cap that. I will say without White on the floor, Jason Tatum rebounds is even better. It's kind of crazy, but if you just look at D White off the floor over here for the Celtics, you'll kind of see that Tatum goes up to like 12. It might be 14 boards per 36 when he's on court with Kristaps and with Derek White off court. So that's just something to say to get as well. Yeah, that's what we're saying here. And if you might meet RJ Barrett, but I think even when IQ played his first game back,
his first game, he played 30 minutes in his first game. I remember that.
JB Bickerstaff, who's just lying through his teeth, right? Oh no, wait, he's in Detroit. Who's in? It's the Serbian dude whose name I forget.
I don't remember his name, but yeah.
Sorry that I'm messing up my coaches in the Central Division, the worst division of the NBA, baby. But no, if we're looking at the Dubs game real quick, I don't know if people had any looks. I'm just looking at the starred comments for a minute, see if we have any Miami or Golden State looks. But it's kind of
one on Jaquez. Maybe I missed it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were mentioning Jaquez. I don't bet on the Heat. I don't know if you're.
No, he died. I did forget about that.
Yeah, I think that started last year when you and I were doing a show with Kyle, and I was like, nah, man. Well, and I was on a no Pelicans diet at the time, and then I also added the Heat to my ban list because I just don't know what Spo's going to do. I don't know why Spo wants to stay there other than being the highest paid coach. But what you're looking at for these teams is similar actual defensive styles, which is actually do give up stuff to the spot up in the catch and shoot because they pressure the ball. There's a lot of guard ball pressure. That's like the basis for their defense. I have no clue how to cap this Warriors team when Schroeder and Steph Curry are playing together, I'll be honest with you. So I don't really have much of a desire to. I guess it's meant good things for Andrew Wiggins, but both these teams have rotations that I just don't feel like messing with, man. So unless I find this diamond in the rough for either of these teams, I doubt that I'll be playing anything in this game. So just keep that in mind. But all right, we're good here. One more reminder, definitely give that video a like. Subscribe to the page if you don't want to miss anything moving forward. I'm coming out with videos tonight for the NBA. Also, make sure you're subscribed to Modai at Jedi Modai on YouTube, right? And Twitter. What's been up? You've been doing, you've got NFL coming out this week too, in addition to the NBA?
I did early NFL look, posted that yesterday because some books had props out. I gave leans on main lines and stuff. And then, later in the week, we'll have Saturday video, Sunday, Monday, go each game specific.
Cool. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, check that stuff out at Jedi Modi on YouTube, and then same on Twitter that you'll find him there. So appreciate you, my man, for coming on. We'll get you back on if maybe we'll even do next week or some stuff as soon as long you're available. But definitely, like I said, make sure to follow along. And then if you do want one more reminder, if you want to get in on the VIP action, I'm going to be jumping into the VIP here now for the next couple of hours, getting plays out. But you can get a free month if you sign up for one of the books that you see in the description of the video. So sign up for one of those, send a screenshot my way, get your free money, blah, blah, blah. And I'll get you a free month in the VIP. All right. Best of luck to everybody tonight. And until we see you next, happy betting.